Chapter 11. The Regulators of Life. Coordination. A multicellular organism consists of various tissues, organs, and organ systems which perform various life processes. These organ systems are structurally and functionally coordinated with one another. Plants absorb water containing dissolved minerals from the soil through the roots. At the same time, they continuously lose water from the leaves through stomatal openings by the process of transpiration. This process creates a transpiration pull. This transpiration pull is the force in upward direction with which the water is pulled up from the roots to the leaves. This is the ascent of sap. The absorbed minerals are utilized in various metabolic activities. Thus, the process of transpiration, absorption of water containing dissolved minerals, and ascent of sap are related. But for these processes to take place, the soil where the plant grows must have enough water with dissolved minerals. Similarly, in humans, all the organ systems are interrelated. The digested food containing glucose, amino acids, fatty acids is absorbed by the body. The oxygen that is taken in during breathing is used to obtain energy by breaking down the glucose molecules by the process of respiration. The nervous system initiates these actions as well as coordinates the body's interaction with the environment, monitors organs, coordinates the activities of muscles, and regulates behavior. Homeostasis. Any malfunctioning at any stage in the various life processes in organisms may lead to a disorder. So, for proper growth and development, the various tissue systems and organ systems must function in perfect coordination with each other, as well as maintain a constant internal condition in response to the changes in the external environment. Organisms maintain their body in a stable condition by adjusting the body temperature, level of enzyme, amount of oxygen, carbon dioxide, and hormones in the blood. This process is called as homeostasis. Coordination in plants. Plants exhibit a wide range of movements, mainly in response to stimulus. Unlike animals, they lack a nervous or muscular system. They exhibit two types of movements. These are A. Tropic movement or growth-dependent movement. B. Nastic movement or growth-independent movement. Tropic movement or growth-dependent movement in plants. The movement or growth in plants that depends on the direction of an external stimulus is called tropism or tropic movements. Plants show different kinds of tropic movements. These are phototropic movement, geotropic or gravitropic movement, hydrotropic movement, chemotropic movement. phototropic movement. The movement or growth of any part of a plant in response to light is called phototropic movement or phototropism. When a potted plant is kept near a window in a room, it is observed that the stem bends slightly towards the window, that is, it moves towards sunlight. Phototropic movement is regulated by a hormone called auxin that helps the cells to grow longer. When the growing shoot detects light, auxin is synthesized at the tip of the shoot. The auxin diffuses towards the part of the shoot which is not in sunlight and stimulates the cells of that part to grow longer. This causes the shoot to bend towards light. Geotropic or gravitropic movement. Geotropic movement is the movement or growth in response to gravity. The roots of plants show geotropic movement as they grow in the direction of the gravitational pull. Hydrotropic movement. Hydrotropic movement is the movement or growth in response to water. The roots of plants show hydrotropic movement and always bend towards water. Chemotropic movement. Chemotropic movement is movement in plants in response to chemicals. The growth of the pollen tube towards the ovules is an example of chemotropic movement. Plant hormones. Auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins and abscisic acid are some examples of plant hormones. Auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins promote growth. Gibberellins help in growth of stem. Cytokinins promote cell division and are thus found in greater concentrations in fruits and seeds where rapid cell division takes place. Abscisic acid inhibits growth and is responsible for wilting of leaves and shedding of leaves and ripe fruits. Growth-independent movements. Growth-independent movements are responses to stimuli such as temperature, humidity, and are non-directional. Plants show various types of growth-independent movements. Examples of growth-independent movements. When the mimosa plant is stimulated by touch or shock, an electrical signal is generated that moves along the stalk of the leaflet and leaf. This causes an alteration in the amount of water in the cells and the leaflets fold upwards. The ripe fruit of a balsam plant bursts upon the slightest touch or vibration, thus scattering the seeds. The tentacles on the leaves of Drosera, an insectivorous plant, curl inward when they come in contact with an insect. The tentacles bend over the insect and it is trapped. When an insect lands on a leaf of a Venus flytrap, the sensitive trigger hair on the leaf are stimulated and the two lobes of the leaf snap shut. After the insect is digested, the trap reopens. The opening of the lotus flower in the morning and the opening of the tuberose after sunset are examples of photonasty. Coordination in human beings. In human beings, the control and coordination of all the organ systems, our physical actions, our thought processes, and our emotional behavior are brought about by two mechanisms. A. Nervous control. B. Chemical control. The human nervous system. The human nervous system consists of the central nervous system (CNS), the peripheral nervous system (PNS), the autonomous nervous system (ANS). The central nervous system comprises of the brain and the spinal cord and regulates all activities of the body. The peripheral nervous system (PNS). The peripheral nervous system consists of all the nerves outside of the brain and the spinal cord. The main function of the PNS is to connect the central nervous system to the limbs and organs and serve as a communication relay back and forth between the nerves and the brain. The autonomous nervous system (ANS). The autonomous nervous system consists of nerves that regulate the functions of internal organs such as heart, lungs, etc. and are not under our conscious control. Nerves are of two types: afferent nerves and efferent nerves. Afferent nerves are sensory nerves that carry impulses from the sensory organs such as muscles and glands to the brain. Efferent nerves are motor nerves that carry impulses from the brain to the sensory organs such as muscles and glands. The nerves are composed of neurons and neuroglia. The neurons are specialized cells that are capable of responding to stimuli and transmitting electrochemical impulses. Neuroglia are cells that function to support neurons. The term neuroglia means nerve glue. Transmission of electrochemical impulses. What happens when you touch a hot vessel? You take your hand back immediately, don't you? Let's understand how this happens. Each neuron in the nerves receives an impulse and passes it on to the next neuron, and thus the impulse continues in its path. Neurons are shaped so that they can carry the nerve impulses. The dendrites receive stimuli from other nerves or from a receptor organ such as the skin and transmit them through the neuron to the axon. A gap of 2 to 20 nanometers (nm) called synapse separates the axon of one neuron and the dendrites of the next neuron. During the transmission of impulses, some chemicals are released which go across the synapse and start a similar impulse in the dendrite of the next neuron. The axon conducts the impulses to the dendrite of another neuron or to the muscle cells. Muscle cells contain special kinds of proteins which enable them to change their shape, thus responding to the electrical impulses. This is how a movement takes place. Types of neurons. Based on their functions, neurons are of three types: sensory neurons, motor neurons, and association neurons. Sensory neurons. Sensory neurons conduct impulses from the sense organs to the brain and the spinal cord. Motor neurons. Motor neurons conduct impulses from the brain and spinal cord to the effector organs such as muscles and glands. Association neurons. Association neurons perform integrative functions of the nervous system. Reflex action. A reflex action is a sudden, involuntary, instantaneous response to a stimulus. In such a case, the nerve impulse is not carried to the brain. This causes an immediate reaction. It does not involve any thinking or reasoning. Blinking of eyes when strong light falls on the eyes is an example of a reflex action. The receptor, that is, the sense organ, detects a stimulus. The nerve impulse travels along sensory neurons from the site of stimulation to the spinal cord. From the spinal cord, the motor neuron sends signal to the effector, that is, muscle, gland or organ. The effector produces a response. This pathway for the impulses that cause a reflex action is called the reflex arc. Reflex arcs are formed in the spinal cord although the messages reach the brain. The central nervous system. The central nervous system is composed of the brain and the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord are covered by protective membranes called meninges. The brain is protected by the bony skull or cranium, while the spinal cord by the vertebral column or the backbone. The brain has a network of cavities called ventricles that is connected with the long cavity of the spinal cord called the central canal. The cerebrospinal fluid surrounds the brain and the spinal cord as well as fills up the ventricles and the central canal and provides a barrier against mechanical shocks. It also keeps the central nervous system well nourished. The brain receives and transmits impulses and coordinates responses. It works with the peripheral nervous system, which carries impulses to and from the brain and spinal cord via nerves that run to all parts of the body. Structure of the brain. The brain is a complex structure with different parts responsible for receiving impulses, interpreting them, and sending out instructions. It is divided into 3 regions: the forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain. The forebrain. The forebrain is the largest part of the brain. Most of the forebrain is made up of cerebrum, which is the main thinking part of the brain and is involved in sensory integration and higher intellectual functions. It contains areas for specific motor sensory functions such as smell, vision, hearing, etc., and association areas. The association areas integrate information from different receptors or sensory areas and relate the information to past experiences. Then the brain makes a decision and sends nerve impulses to the motor areas to give responses. The cerebrum is divided into right and left hemispheres. The left hemisphere controls the right part of our body and the right hemisphere controls the left part of the body. The midbrain. The midbrain lies between the hindbrain and forebrain and is crucial for vision and hearing. The hindbrain. Two important components of the hindbrain are the cerebellum and the medulla oblongata. The cerebellum is responsible for coordinating the voluntary movements and maintaining the balance of the body. The medulla oblongata controls all the involuntary activities like breathing, blood flow, beating of the heart, digestion, sneezing, etc. The chemical control. The chemical control in the human body is brought about by the endocrine system. The endocrine system works in coordination with the nervous system to integrate and control various body activities. The endocrine system consists of ductless or endocrine glands. These glands secrete hormones that are released directly into the bloodstream and are carried to different parts of the body. The nerve impulses are rapid and of short duration, while the hormonal action is much slower and long-lasting. Feedback mechanism. A constant supply of hormones is important for health, but an increase or decrease in the amount of hormones produced in the body can lead to diseases. So, the human body has a feedback mechanism that regulates the quantity of hormones released and the time of release. Example of feedback mechanism. The pancreas secretes the insulin hormone which regulates the sugar level in the blood. When the blood sugar level rises, the cells of the pancreas detect the condition and produce more insulin. The secretion of insulin is reduced when the blood sugar level falls back to normal. Concept map. Both plants and animals show control and coordination of the various life processes. This helps in movement. Movement in plants can be growth dependent or tropic movements, as well as growth independent or nastic movements. Movement in animals is controlled by nerves as well as chemicals. The nerves form a network that spread throughout the body and lead to the spinal cord and the brain. The spinal cord controls reflex action. The brain is composed of the forebrain, the midbrain, and the hindbrain. The forebrain is responsible for voluntary actions, whereas the midbrain and the hindbrain control involuntary actions. The chemical control in the human body is brought about by the hormones secreted by the endocrine glands. The endocrine glands can influence the action of the brain.